Kia ora, off-grid native. Today I want to talk about trees. I want to talk about rako, talk about healing properties and getting to know the characteristic of a tree, of a rako, and what that means and how native people from all around the world use these techniques for finding out what tree is good for what ailment. So those who watch the Instagram and Facebook, you would have seen me talk about the kohe, but today I'm just going to do an example. And why I'm doing this example is because I want you to understand the way of thinking. And if you understand the way of thinking, you'll always get knowledge. And what I mean by that is that if I give you a remedy and you say, oh yes, this is a good remedy, I'll use this for this, it is like a book. Once that book's finished, you haven't learned anything else. But yet, if you learn to study the tree, then that information will keep giving and is infinite. That's really a concept I want to get into people's heads, is that if you find the traditional knowledge all around the world, it is infinite, as in it never stops giving. And again, I'll explain what I mean by that, is that when I'm walking up a river, a stream, walking through the forest, there'll be something that I see, and it'll change my understanding of the way we are as a people, our culture. It'll expand on something. It might be a bird, it could be the way a tree moves, where it grows. All those things could be a reason. So that type of knowledge always keeps giving. And it really is true, because I go walking often and always learning something new. And I was lucky enough to have really good teachers who were real generous, but a lot of them always told me, go into the forest, go into the ocean, go up the river. That is where the knowledge is. So I was just going to talk about this plant here, kohe. So I'm going to take the camera back, we're going to zoom in, study it, and have a talk about it. And I'm going to let you figure out what it's good for. So here we have the kohe leaf. It's green, it's glossy, it's a big wide leaf, like it should be in the tropics. Here, it's quite large down there where it touches the stem. We have brown in here. We've also got these little plates where the leaf falls off. So often you're looking at these characteristics and you're saying, how do they relate to health? How do they relate to us? As we keep coming down here, now this is quite an unusual part of this tree, is that all of these buds are here, and there's a lot of them. They're coming out of everywhere. So if we come back to our main trunk, we can see there's more flower buds. Sometimes we look at the ground. Where does it grow? How does it grow? What part of the forest does it grow in? What does its bark look like? What is it similar to? What colours is it? How does it grow? What does it look like in the rain? What does it look like in a storm? What does it look like in a drought? All those things are important. So we've looked at all those things. Now, really, if we go over this, and I'm really keen to hear people's opinions on this, what do you think is the unique and different part of this tree? The yellowing of the leaf there, all of these things are all signs. You need to get to know the trees intimately. When they're sick, when they're dying, when they're healthy, all of that. If you want to truly understand it. But the difference is that knowledge will continue to keep giving. That knowledge will continue to keep giving. For me, one of the things here is here. To me, this tree is quite strange and quite different from all the other trees because it has all of these poking out of here. All of these soon-to-be berries. All along the small stems, the big stems, it has all of these soon-to-be berries coming out. So because it has so many berries, we look at that and go, what is this tree good for? Also has a lot of flowers and it has a lot of berries. So then you start asking yourself, what do flowers do? What do berries do in nature? And there's your answer for what you use this tree for.